gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the H+H Sports Podcast. Not live this week, obviously. Taking a little break on the lives because of my internet, if you guys are tuned in. Just a chill recorded episode this week. But yeah, we are back with the podcast, back with the football talk. And what a week of football it was last week. We are changing the format of how we do these podcasts, though. Usually we recap the week prior, and then we go with the pick'ems for each respective sport. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do just pick'ems, but as we pick the games this week, we're gonna recap that team's game from the previous week, just to have a better flow of the podcast, because I feel like the podcasts get a little dragged out. So changing the format up of the podcast. I hope you guys don't mind. I probably don't. But yeah, dude. Jumping straight into the episode.
I want to play a little clip that got me laughing the other day.
What was that?
For you.
Got a rough schedule coming up, dude. Wow. Miami's got some games. But after this week, you're looking a little rough here. So lose those games. Don't lose this game to Georgia Tech. Give me Miami.
I knew it. I mentioned it before that clip. I knew it.
I went back and found that clip because it was so funny the way they lost. After you said that, the way they lost, it was so funny to me. I had to, and I've been waiting. I wanted to call you about it, but I wanted to get your reaction live. And I'm sure we're going to get it when we get to the Miami game this week.
I'll talk about it when the Miami game comes up. But
I just couldn't hold that in any longer.
That was the game for sure. It was definitely a game. One of the games of all time.
But yeah, that had me laughing when I saw the way they lost. I thought about that clip instantly.
We get them first part of the episode this week. All right, I'm ready. I am ready.
Let's start with the recap of last week. Tanner with a record of 16-9.
Again with the mid records, bro.
I came in with a record of 15-10.
I was better. Let's go.
That brings the overall records to Tanner 102-48 to me 110-40. 8 games back for you.
One game better. One game better. I'm catching up.
Maybe you make us some ground this week.
I hope so.
I did take some risky picks last week. Marshall was risky. Kentucky was very risky.
You just a little bit, dude. You picked a ton more risky picks than me, and still had one worse than me.
Yeah.
Do I just suck at picking? Am I just terrible?
Yeah. Anyway. Week 7. On to week 7. We got some more weeks. You got plenty of time.
I know.
I'm sure I'll make some bonehead picks. Week 7. West Virginia, starting on Friday. West Virginia at Houston.
At Houston. West Virginia's 4-0. They've already doubled their output, what I thought they were going to do on the season. Let me go with West Virginia. On the road. They're favored by a couple of points. Give me the Mountaineers.
Give me West Virginia, too.
That'll be a fun little game to watch.
Houston in a transitional year into the Big 12.
I think all of the new teams are having a transitional year.
Yeah, for sure. Tulane coming to town to face the Memphis Tigers.
I wanted to be at this game so bad. God.
I will, of course, be in attendance.
You already know.
Yeah, I'm going to go Memphis, but
I wish Tulane was ranked, and here's why I say this, right? We have such a good record against ranked teams at home. I think the last time we lost to a ranked team at home was when we lost to UCF, and they were ranked like 10.
Yeah, the last time Tulane won in Memphis was 98.
Like, in the bowl? In the Liberty Bowl? We're them.
Now,
We're them.
I definitely see a world where we lose Friday night. I definitely do.
Oh, yeah, Tulane's not a team to mess around with. Their only loss is against Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is obviously a really good team. And our only loss is to Missouri.
This game could be the one that goes to the New Year's Six, if it's not Wyoming.
I think so. Yeah, Fresno's. I think they're out of that. Maybe not. If they went out, maybe not. But Wyoming's looking really, really good.
This game, I'm gonna put this out there. This game is for Silverfield's job.
I would say so. Every big game that we've had under him has been
a letdown.
Lost.
And I like Ron Silverfield. Don't get me wrong.
He's a good guy. He's just.
We gotta win, bro. We gotta win.
We always have these type of starts, like 4-1, 3-1, like these good starts, right? We win all the out of conference games, like with the exception of Missouri a couple weeks ago. But
winnable game.
When we get to these games right here, this game right here was Houston last year. 4-1 at home, Friday night.
I'm also not a big fan of having our biggest game of the year on a Friday night, but
we usually win our weekday games.
I mean, I know, but it's the biggest game of the year, man. Like, the crowd's not going to be like, it's going to be a depleted crowd probably because it's a Friday night.
Maybe not. It's the end of the week.
Friday night football, though. High school football. Stuff like that, man.
Maybe. But
I don't know. I think a big crowd there. Hopefully a loud crowd.
I think the outcome of this game hinges on the play of Seth Hennigan.
Oh, definitely, for sure, yeah.
I think in games like these, I'm confident in our defense. Our defense will get the job done in games like these. They've proven that they can do that. It's the offense that I'm scared of. Historically, since Memphis has started to be pretty good, it's the opposite.
That's feed Blake Watson. That's all I got to say.
Like I said this when we played Missouri, give the ball to your playmakers.
Give Rock the rock.
Give Rock the rock, Kobe Drake, Blake Watson. Just give them the ball. And like at the end of I got a little, but Seth Hennigan got some points back for me in that Boise State game. He showed that dog that I knew that he had in him. And we need twice as many dog in this game. I'm going with the Tigers. I can't pick against Memphis in this type of game.
Yeah, I can't pick against this type of game. I've picked against Memphis once, I think. It was Mississippi State, and we were both right.
It was our first pick 'em. We both picked against Memphis. I still hate that I did that.
Well, yeah, me too. But sometimes we got to be real.
Yeah. And we were right in that occasion. That game was terrible.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, Stanford on the road at Colorado. The hype on Colorado's kind of fell off, hasn't it?
Yeah, they barely beat Arizona State last week on a game-winning field goal.
I saw a thing today. I think it was Big Game Boomer posted it, which you can take that with what you will, but it was a top 30 offenses or whatever. Maybe it's top 50 offenses in college football. And Colorado wasn't on there. And I was like, 3 weeks ago, Colorado would have been on here.
Yeah, like Colorado against USC. Like, I don't think they've scored under 30 points all year, except for against Oregon.
Yeah, I don't know why they weren't on there, but like I said.
Like, I know they got killed against Oregon, But that's a good offense. Like Sean Lewis is a good coordinator.
And I'm not buying the narrative that Shedeur Sanders is taking sacks to pad his stats.
Whoever said that is weird. He's just a hater for no reason. Yeah,
That might be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Stanford might be the worst team in the Pac-12. And they got the invite to the ACC. Their only win is against Hawaii week 1. They lost to Sacramento State. I forgot about that. Yeah, give me Colorado.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Colorado here. Especially at home.
Night game too. After dark game, definitely too.
We're not doing a very good job of recapping the games, though.
I know. I mean, Memphis didn't have a game last week. I mean, I don't remember any of the like. What did West Virginia do last week?
Yeah, that's
TCU.
That's fair. We can recap this one though, even though I would rather not. Anyway, Georgia on the road at Vanderbilt.
Oh, I wonder who's winning this game. Georgia killed Kentucky last week. In a shocking outcome.
Let me get this off my chest. I watched this game, and Kentucky beat themselves. Man, I know the score was a blowout, but
they were moving the ball. They just
you can't like blindside block and late hit and hold and whatever else they did. And
it's not even that many turnovers.
Does Devin Leary suck? Like
Devin Leary
it's time to ask the question. Does Devin Leary suck?
No, he doesn't. It could be Kentucky holding him back. Like no turnovers.
Bro, he's been accurate all his career, and then now all of a sudden he can't hit his receivers.
I know. Like that part is questionable. No turnovers for Kentucky. Carson Beck did whatever he wanted, except for that one pick. That whole game.
Once again, Brock Bowers is the only guy on the team catching the ball when he gets open.
Dude, it was hilarious when Bowers dropped like this wide open, like this easy catch in the end zone.
Yeah, and they said take his scholarship.
The announcer was like, "Take his scholarship." That made me crack up. But yeah, Beck did whatever he wanted in the passing game. Oscar Delp got a touchdown. He went to the same high school as I did, so that's pretty good. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Kentucky, like, they were moving the ball, like, better than you'd probably expect. They just self-inflicted wounds, man. No turnovers.
Man, you can't. And like, they stopped Georgia. I think it was 14-7, and they stopped Georgia. And then their defensive lineman that knocks the pass down goes and just blindsides the Georgia guy. And I'm like, you can't give Georgia those extra opportunities, man. Like,
I know, it was just, they probably don't win even if Kentucky plays like, I don't know, like Georgia's that good. Kentucky
they
played,
probably don't win. It definitely changes the energy of the momentum of the game. So, I mean, there's an argument to be had. So, I mean, I think Georgia still wins, but
Beck played darn near perfect.
A lot closer if
it was, but like Georgia still hung 51. Like Kentucky couldn't stop. Kentucky couldn't stop a parked car on Saturday, so the offense is what could have kept them in the game, but didn't. But Vanderbilt, I think Georgia wallops Vanderbilt back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pick an upset this week, and I'm going Georgia.
You didn't go Vanderbilt? Wow.
Every time I go against Georgia, they actually show up.
Yeah, so you pick Vanderbilt. If you pick Vanderbilt, Georgia put 70 on the board.
Georgia's offense is mid every other week. Last year I picked South Carolina to beat them. Georgia stomps them.
Absolutely kills them.
This year, Georgia's offense has been mid all year. Georgia's team been mid all year.
Carson Beck has the
Kentucky.
Game
I
of his
picked
career.
Kentucky. Georgia comes out and looks like they could win the next 2 national championships.
So what it's looking like since you picked against Georgia or picked Georgia to win, Vanderbilt covers by a lot and it goes to overtime.
I don't know. We'll see.
With 4 people in the stands and the site getting in the stadium getting under construction.
It's gonna be a very Georgia crowd, I'm sure.
Dude, they're gonna be putting the new jumbotron up in the middle of the game.
Like that 2019 LSU game against Vanderbilt when it was just LSU fans there.
Yeah, like that was funny.
And the Nashville bar sold out of beer by 9 a.m. for an 11 o'clock kickoff. Them Cajuns or something else.
Dude, Vanderbilt lost to UNLV after starting 2-0. I saw this clip on TikTok, and it was when Vanderbilt started like 3-0 in 2017 or something, and they're like,
Alabama, you're next.
Alabama, you're next, and they lost 9-0 or something.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah, Alabama, you're the next loss.
Yeah, that was something. They were next. Alabama was next on the schedule. They were next.
Dude came press conference like, I just meant they were next on the schedule. Just wish we were.
Anyway, we kind of get a run of top 5 teams here. Indiana on the road at Michigan.
Now, Michigan killed Minnesota last week. I thought, I don't know if I said it, but I thought in the back of my head that this might be a close game. But then, like, after the game, PJ Fleck said Michigan was the best team he's ever coached against or seen in his time coaching. I mean, to each their own. I can see a couple. I could name a couple better teams. But yeah, 52-10. Not looking good. It was 24-10 at the end of the first half. So it was like, maybe they could.
I heard about some guy put a crazy parlay together for like JJ McCarthy to score like 2 touchdowns and Michigan's defense to score 2 touchdowns. And it hit or something. It hit by like the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It was like JJ McCarthy scored 2 rushing touchdowns or something. And he hit like so big. I heard about it today. I don't remember where I saw it at.
McCarthy had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 pick sixes for Michigan.
Yeah. Fun fact, Michigan's first-string defense has scored more points than they've given up this year.
Michigan's been dominant. They were this dominant last year, though. Like, last year, Michigan was, like, probably one of the most underrated regular seasons of all time. Like, if Michigan, like, goes to the national championship last year, they're probably regarded as one of the best teams ever because that team last year was so dominant. Like, even when they played Ohio State and Penn State, they beat them both by, like, 2 or 3 scores. Like, Michigan had a really dominant season last year, and I don't think anybody talked about it because they lost to TCU. But
yeah.
If Michigan, even it, as little as goes to the national title game last year, I think we talk about Michigan as one of the more, best teams ever. Because last year, Michigan was really, really good.
Yeah, and they're really, really good this year, too. And I'm taking Michigan this week.
Yeah, that being said, I'm going Michigan. Pretty comfortably.
Number 3, Ohio State travels to Purdue.
Purdue's looking bad. 2-4. We thought Purdue would be a little decent. Lost to Iowa. And Iowa scores 20 points. That's a Big Ten game right there. Like, they haven't lost to any bad teams, though. They beat Illinois, who's a decent team. They beat Virginia Tech, who's bad. They lost to Fresno. Like, now it's not really a bad loss. Lost to Syracuse, who's decent. Lost to Wisconsin, who's good. Lost to Iowa, who's good when they want to be. Like, they just had some bad luck. Like, they're not getting, like, the only game that they got killed was the Wisconsin game, which is kind of understandable. And they lost by 2 scores to Syracuse, who's pretty decent. I don't know, man. Purdue's weird. I'm going with Ohio State. But here's a note though. Ohio State's only favored by 20. So like you're saying like 10 or only 20, but it's like it's Ohio State. I think any other year Ohio State's favored by at least 30 in this game. But it's also like Purdue. Purdue's like way worse than we thought they would be. I don't know. This is a weird game. Like Ohio State wins for sure.
Yeah, I'm going Ohio State.
Is the last
I'm going
time
Ohio
that
State. My bad.
is the last time that Ohio State played at Purdue? The year that Ohio State beat them, or Purdue beat them? I feel like they've played at Purdue more recently. Hold on. Let me check. 2021 was at Ohio State. Yeah, the last time Ohio State played at Purdue, they got upset with Dwayne Haskins at quarterback. Rest in peace. But yeah, this was when Rondale Moore was a freshman. Yeah, the last time Ohio State played at Purdue, they got beat. And you could argue Ohio State was a better team. Like, well, this is a better. You could argue that team was better than Ohio State is this year, is what I was trying to say. I'm still going to go Ohio State, though.
Yeah, I'm going Ohio State.
It's going to be an interesting week next week when Ohio State plays Penn State.
Yeah, that will be interesting. To round out our top four here, since all the top 4 teams played at 11 o'clock, Syracuse is on the road at number 4 with Florida State. Florida State coming off a bye week. I'm taking Florida State off a bye week.
Much needed bye week for Florida State. They struggled heavily against teams that they should have beat. Like, I understand the struggle against Clemson. They got lucky with that missed field goal, but like against Boston College and the other teams they struggled with, I'm going to go Florida State. I think they get some much needed rest on a bye week. Syracuse is spiraling downward after getting killed by UNC and losing to – who else did they lose to? It was another team the week before that I picked them to beat. Clemson. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Florida State. 3-game losing streak for Syracuse. Yeah, I think Florida State gets it done in Tallahassee.
Another team we did not expect to only have 2 wins is Arkansas, and they're on the road at Alabama.
Arkansas winless in the SEC this year. Like Rocket Sanders, KJ Jefferson.
We thought this team was going to be better.
They've had a rough go. They've only lost by 7 to Ole Miss last week. Lost by double digits.
That's such a Lane Kiffin thing to do. Go out and get this thrilling win, and then
beat Arkansas by 7. But they lose.
Like the Lane train's got some bumps in the tracks.
Definitely. Lane definitely doesn't make it easy on himself. Double-digit loss to A&M. Lost by 3 to LSU. They took it to LSU that game in Death Valley, and it was like Arkansas maybe turn it around even after 2 losses. Like they lost to BYU by 1 score. Arkansas is struggling, so I'm going to go Alabama. It is funny though that Alabama's only favored by 20. Alabama struggled as well.
Yeah, Alabama struggled, and I'm going Alabama. And I'm gonna say, if Milroe plays like he did Saturday, Alabama can win the SEC.
Milroe was on his game last week, and Alabama still only won by 6.
Yeah, I know, but it's A&M. That's a good team. I don't care. A&M's a good team.
A&M's good. A&M will probably win 9 games this year, and people will still call for Jimbo's head. But A&M is.
Jimbo's been good against Saban. I mean,
I know, but like every year it seems like that's a close game.
Yeah, I know.
And like last year it came down to the final play. This year it was only a 1-score game, and then he obviously beat him a couple years ago in 2021. It's just Jimbo's just got to learn. Like he had one good year in the COVID year, right? It's just everybody's looking for that other like good year, like that playoff appearance is what they're looking for. With all that money he's being paid, he should at least do something. But the SEC's weird, man.
Yeah.
He's not just downright terrible every year. It'd be different if that was the case.
But yeah, if Milroe plays like that, I think Alabama can win the SEC. I don't think that's crazy to say.
I mean, it's Alabama.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't think it's crazy to say. Like, it's Nick Saban, it's Alabama. Like
they have like another like the second half.
They're in the driver's seat too.
I know, like they're on a win streak, obviously. They have a whole clean slate in the second half. Starts this Saturday against Arkansas. You're most likely 99% going to play Georgia in the SEC title game. Obviously, Saban teams don't look ahead as far as that, but I think obviously Saban's thinking about it. He's trying to get his team ready for that game.
Yeah, and so, like I said, Milroe's got to keep playing the way he's been playing, or the way he played Saturday.
For sure.
Michigan State at Rutgers.
Rutgers is favored in this game. Give me Rutgers, man. Michigan State's looking terrible.
Rutgers is good, man. I don't know about good, but
Michigan State is
Rutgers
bad.
is good for Rutgers standards. Let's put it that way.
4-2 in the Big Ten. Round of applause for Greg Schiano and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Finally getting it done. Let's look at Rutgers here.
I hate this, but I'm going Rutgers too.
Rutgers has only lost to Michigan and Wisconsin.
Maybe we'll get some diversity here in a minute.
Not a necessarily impressive schedule so far for Rutgers, but for the Big Ten, Rutgers 4-2. Round of applause for Rutgers. Proud of them.
Iowa State at Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's favored by 5 in Nippert. What's Iowa State been doing? They won last week. I don't know how. I don't know if Iowa State's good or not. Like they're 500. They're obviously not great, but this is even for me. Like I don't know. Like obviously Cincinnati's a decent team. They've struggled so far in the Big 12, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't know what to.
At home though, like I don't know how to gauge this.
I'll go Iowa State.
Cincinnati's coming off a loss to BYU. Is Cincy coming off a bye? I think they are.
I'll go Iowa State.
Yeah, Cincy's coming off a bye. I'll go with Cincinnati. Off a bye at home. Give me Cincinnati. First Big 12 win for the Bearcats. How the mighty have fallen.
Texas A&M on the road in Neyland versus Tennessee. Number 19 Tennessee, who's also tied with with Washington State for number 19.
Oh, there was a tie.
Which is kind of weird. Like, just put one of them as 20.
Like, what?
So we got two number 19s, which is whatever.
This is an afternoon game at Neyland, and Tennessee's only favored by 3 points. Who in your mind has looked more impressive this year?
I gotta say A&M, I think.
You think so? Tennessee has blown out their last two opponents. I know it's been UTSA and South Carolina, but since that Florida loss, they've been rolling.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna go Tennessee.
That Tennessee-Alabama game is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it will.
It's gonna be in Tuscaloosa this year.
Along with down the road the Tennessee-Georgia game, that will be interesting as well.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't have a great track record of picking against Tennessee on this podcast. Give me the Vols.
Yeah, I like Tennessee at home.
I don't feel great about it. If A&M was in Kyle Field, I'm picking A&M.
Yeah.
But
probably me too.
And I don't want to hear none of this Tanner hates Tennessee thing, but it's like A&M's good. I'm not bashing Tennessee by saying A&M's good.
Yeah, A&M's good.
A&M's really talented. Like, all that good recruiting has paid off. Like, A&M's good. So, I mean, it's just the fact that Tennessee's at home is making me want to pick Tennessee. Neyland's hard to win in.
Yeah.
Especially when Tennessee is good. So I'm gonna pick Tennessee.
Number 23, Kansas, on the road at Oklahoma State.
Kansas is on a roll. Their only loss was to Texas on the road. I mean, they got killed that game, but every other game they've pretty much handled. I'm gonna go with Kansas.
I'll go Oklahoma State at home.
Jalen Daniels is it Jaden? I never know. Is it Jaden or Jalen? It's Jalen. Okay, I got it. Jalen Daniels is
Jaden plays for LSU.
Jaden plays for LSU. It would be easier if Jalen did because L for LSU, whatever. Jalen Daniels for Kansas is doubtful, but Jason Bean has played well in Daniels' absence. So I'm going to go with Kansas. Kansas is riding a hot one.
Give me Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy at home.
I don't hate that pick.
Florida on the road at South Carolina.
Oh, dear. This is the one game that I just didn't want to pick. Oh boy.
Florida's all right.
Florida's actually all right. I wish this Florida team was Florida's team last year. South Carolina's letting me down, bro.
Give me Florida.
I gave South Carolina such high praise before the season. They were gonna finish second in the East. They let me down, man.
What'd you say? 9-3.
9-3, and they had the tiebreaker over Tennessee.
I had them at 7-5, which is looking more likely.
Before the season, though, did I look crazy?
A little, but not really.
Like, this is a talented. I mean, it's Cocktober now. It's Cocktober.
It is Cocktober.
How are we feeling about Cocktober, chat? Second game of Cocktober. They got killed in Neyland. I picked South Carolina to win that game. Second game of Cocktober. Do I pick South Carolina? Am I insane? But every time I pick Florida, other than the Utah game last year, they've lost.
Every time I pick against Florida, they win.
I don't know what to do here. Like this is like for like almost every team. Like I suck at predictions, man.
Not too bad. You're only 8 games back.
Only 8. You have to bomb 1 week for me to catch up. I'm going with Florida.
Well, they got to give us a week where we're going to have some diversity and not just pick the same teams.
Actually, no. Give me South Carolina. At home.
South Carolina. If they're going to win 9 games, they got to win out. You know that, right?
I know. I mean, they can afford 1 loss. If they want to win 9 games on the year.
Yeah.
But there's no way they're finishing second in the East.
No, there's not. They're probably not
anymore.
They're probably getting more than 1 loss up in there too.
I'm gonna take South Carolina at home. I don't feel good about picking either team in this game.
BYU.
Can you hear my dog?
At TCU.
Can you hear my dog?
I could, but not now.
Like, is it like? Do I need to like
No, it's fine.
restart what we were talking about with Florida, South Carolina?
No, it's fine.
Okay. All right, restart
BYU.
your. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. All right. 1, 2. BYU on the road at TCU.
BYU's been good, man.
TCU, what a fall from grace.
Yeah, TCU came back down to earth this year.
TCU's favored by 6 in this game. I'm gonna go BYU.
I was gonna pick BYU too, dude.
I beat you to it.
BYU's only loss this year is against ranked Kansas on the road.
BYU's the only team not struggling in the Big 12.
Like, BYU's been good. They've only played 2 Big 12 games.
They beat Arkansas though, so
Arkansas is a good win. Cincinnati's also a decent win. But they have Texas in a few weeks. They play Oklahoma, second to last game of the year. I just talked up BYU. I'm going to go BYU. I don't feel great about TCU right now. They just lost to Iowa State. I mean, it was on the road. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They're not scoring a lot.
no, they're not.
And Chandler Morris is likely to miss a couple of games. Yeah, I'm going to go with BYU. I don't feel great about TCU at all.
Now I can hear your dog.
Like, dude, they know I'm recording. I don't know why they're messing with the dog.
Anyway, it'd be all right. It ain't that bad. Ain't no worse than my dog barking in the background in the live last week.
See, that's understandable. It's live. You know, whatever.
Your favorite team, the 5-1 Iowa Hawkeyes on the road.
See,
At Wisconsin.
Okay. I picked Iowa to win 10 games and win the West. Now that Caden McNamara's out, I don't feel good about it.
Okay.
But-
Okay. I just realized we have to go different here because I picked Wisconsin to win the West and you picked Iowa to win the West.
So I have to pick Iowa.
And I have to pick Wisconsin.
It's a cool little game. This is at Wisconsin though. Dang. Dang it. I was out McNamara. He was their only, like, I'm not gonna say only, but he was one of their bright spots on offense. Who's been starting for them? What's his name? Deacon Hill. I think we went over this already. He hasn't been great. 37% completion. He's an Iowa quarterback. That sucks for Cade McNamara, though. I have to pick Iowa. Like, I have to. But the fact that this is in Wisconsin makes me not feel good about it. Wisconsin's favorite 10. It's the Cade injury, man. I can't. It just sucks.
Yeah, it definitely does.
I want to pick Iowa, though.
Next up, number 14, Louisville on the road at Pitt.
Louisville 6-0, beating Notre Dame last week.
I'm gonna say it. I'm taking Louisville. I think we both are. But
Louisville is sitting first in the ACC right now.
Let me tell you, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think Louisville can go undefeated.
With the threats of their schedule,
Louisville avoids Clemson, North Carolina, and Florida State. I think Louisville can go undefeated.
Now they're playing Pitt this week on the road, and it's not Heinz Field anymore. Something else.
They get Duke at home.
They play Duke, Virginia Tech, Virginia, Miami, and Kentucky. Miami's a lock as a win.
Kentucky at home.
That's a rivalry game. Kentucky's not bad. They're not ranked.
No, they're not bad, but it's a Louisville home game too.
But Louisville's been dominating, bro. I mean, against NC State, they won
If
13-10.
Louisville goes into the Kentucky game 11-0,
they're a top 4 team for sure. Imagine Louisville making the playoffs. But I guarantee you, if they go undefeated, they lose the conference title game.
Yeah.
To whoever they play.
Yeah. But I'm saying I think Louisville can go undefeated in the regular season. I'm just going to say it on the record now. I think Louisville can go undefeated.
But, dude, Louisville's first in the ACC right now, dude. That's halfway through the year. This isn't like week 3, but we're week 7. Louisville's 6-0.
Yeah.
That is insane. Jack Plummer is having a season.
That is kind of crazy that UNC could get like snubbed of a conference title game because, well, I guess not because they had to play Florida State. So
I mean, there's no more divisions in the ACC anymore.
Well, what I was getting at is like they wouldn't be able to get a rematch because they don't get a chance at Louisville in the season. You see what I'm saying? Like,
what's interesting though is Louisville's favored by 7.5 in this game. I've picked Pittsburgh a couple times this year because I thought they were way better than what they have been. Pittsburgh's been disappointing. They lost to Virginia Tech by multiple scores last week. Is Virginia Tech like good? No. They're 1-3. Virginia Tech is bad. They lost to Marshall and Rutgers and Purdue. What a weird schedule. Is that their first ACC game of the year? Yeah, Virginia Tech just played their first ACC game of the year last week. Side note. I'm going Louisville, though. It may be a tough. But yeah, give me Louisville. Louisville's been
give me Louisville.
Louisville's been really good.
Yeah. And Purdue hasn't.
Yeah.
I think there's a common denominator here.
Hard pick.
Arizona on the road at Washington State. Arizona might be the best 3-3 team in the country.
Arizona's good. Like that, you guys see why that I pick Arizona to cover these spreads. Arizona's not a bad team, but they just can't finish these games out. Arizona almost beat USC last week.
I had a buddy at the Arizona USC game last week. He said the energy was electric.
Like Arizona's not bad. Like they lose to USC by 2. They lose to Washington by 7 at home.
They took USC to triple overtime. Was it double or triple?
I think it was triple because they did the 2-point conversion things.
Yeah, that's right.
And they lost to Mississippi State, who's not great, but they're an SEC team on the road by 7. All three of their losses are by a combined 16 points. Arizona's not bad, but they have 3 ranked teams in a row. And 2 of them at home.
They go to Wazoo.
They're going to Pullman, who's a really good environment. I hate to pick against Arizona. Dude, I remember when I was younger, in like 7th grade, I had a Road to Glory with a quarterback on Arizona. And I've kind of been partial to Arizona ever since. But Washington State's better. So it's like if this was at Arizona, I'm going with Arizona because Arizona's been like really decent.
I'm gonna take Arizona to put it all together this week and pull off the upset.
You're going with Arizona on the road?
I'm gonna go Arizona.
I'm going with Washington State in Pullman. Washington State's hard to win in.
I'm definitely gonna give you your chances. Let's put it that way.
give me my chances to come back.
Kansas State on the road at Texas Tech.
Tech's only favored by 1.5. This is a weird game too. Like, I don't feel good about whoever I'm gonna pick here. I don't know who's better. Tech's lost to Wyoming, Oregon, and West Virginia. All by 1 score. And Kansas State has lost to Missouri, I know, and Oak State last week. I'm going to go with Tech at home.
I'm going to go. Give me Kansas State.
Give me Tech in Lubbock. All 3 of their games are by 1 score. I know they lost to Wyoming, but Wyoming is like, you can argue they could be ranked right now.
I'm also going to, I messed up when I made our list of games, and I left one out. So we're going to have 26 games this week.
Okay.
Because I feel like we have to pick this game. Because it might be a decent little game. It's 2 oddball teams, but Wyoming is on the road at Air Force. Wyoming is 5-1, and Air Force is 5-0.
5-0 Air Force? Air Force is favored by 10.5?
Yeah, Air Force is getting 10.5. I don't know how I missed this game. I guess because neither of them are ranked, and like,
wait,
it's kind of like,
are we sleeping on Air Force here? Air Force here? I didn't even know. They've killed everybody. I mean, they beat Robert Morris by 42-7. First I ever heard of that school. Beat Sam Houston by 10. Beat Utah State by 18. Beat San Jose State by 25. And beat San Diego State by 39.
I just feel like we have to pick this game. Like, this might be a good little game.
What's Air Force's statistics looking like?
I don't know nothing about these
like,
teams.
We're gonna put Air Force on game here. They're averaging 39 points a game. Hold on, 329 rushing yards a game. I mean, it's Air Force. Okay, let's look at. I think we know more about Wyoming because they have louder wins, and their only loss is to Texas by a few scores. This is gonna be a good game. This is at Air Force. I'm gonna go with Wyoming.
Dang it, you stupid.
I'm riding Wyoming. No pause.
So we said Memphis and Tulane might have been the winner goes to Group 5. We didn't even think about Air Force. Like,
who's sleeping on Air Force, man?
Winner might go to New Year's 6, not the Group of 5. But you know what I meant. But we didn't even think about Air Force. Like, honestly I didn't even know Air Force was 5-0.
I didn't either. Forgot Air Force was a school. I didn't forget Air Force was a school, but
apologies to Air Force.
Sleeping on Air Force, 5-0.
I'll go Air Force since you went Wyoming.
The fact that Air Force is favored by 10.5 is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Is Wyoming missing somebody that we don't know about?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about that too. But like I said, I didn't even have the game on the thing, so I definitely don't know if Wyoming's missing anybody.
I don't think Wyoming's missing anyone.
Is there an injury report on here? No, they don't do that in college, do they?
I don't know. Let me see. Like, I don't think anybody's injured. Yeah, it doesn't say anybody's injured here. I think just Vegas thinks Air Force is just that much better.
Hey, Vegas knows.
Just perplexing to me.
Vegas knows.
With how Wyoming's been playing, but I'm gonna go with Wyoming on the road.
I'll go Air Force. Your next favorite team, number 25, Miami.
Okay, dude.
On the road at North Carolina. Number 12, North Carolina.
First of all, the fact that UNC's favored by 3.5 at home against Miami. All right, dude. I'm going to sit up. Miami.
Focus up, boys and girls. If you're here, you better listen because this is going to get good.
Miami. With 35 seconds left in the game.
All right, let me just say, I'm going to say, there's this new play. There's this new formation. It's called victory formation.
If you go on Madden and you scroll down to the special teams formation and you scroll over twice, there's the kneel button. There's the kneel button. Okay? Dude. Like the clip you played, I said you can lose to these ranked teams that you play in these next few weeks, but don't lose to Georgia Tech. Dude. The kneel's a play for a reason. Like, it's not like you can't just end the game, right? You can do that. You don't have to run a play.
I mean, in all fairness, he was down. It wasn't a fumble. But you don't put yourself in that situation.
Regardless, they deserve to lose. The refs were like, you know what? Give Georgia Tech the ball anyway. Miami doesn't deserve to win. Dude, I knew Miami was going to lose a game like this year.
Hey, that's not the first time Cristobal's done that.
He did it against Stanford like 5 years ago. I remember watching that game. I was like, this guy's an idiot. That Oregon won that game, but dude, you're up. What blows my mind, even like more than the freaking fumble, is the fact that they lost. Like they gave up the touchdown after.
They fumbled the ball with 30 seconds on the clock.
Dude,
30 seconds, no timeouts. 30 seconds,
fumbled the
no
ball.
timeouts.
Georgia Tech had no timeouts. You had 35 seconds. If you kneel the ball, the play clock is 40 seconds long. If you one more kneel, you win the game. You're 5-0. In the top 15 still.
You're 5-0, and you're going to North Carolina.
That running back is off scholarship now, for sure. 100%.
It's not his fault they ran the ball.
But I shouldn't blame it on him. But
and he didn't fumble, to be fair.
There's 35 seconds left on the clock, and the play clock is 40 seconds. If you kneel, the game's over. 100%. You don't have to run a play. You can go to the locker room. You can go home. Georgia Tech has no timeouts. The fumble's one thing, right? But 30 seconds, no timeouts. You still let Georgia Tech score.
He's wide open. Wide open.
Like, dude, with no seconds on the clock, Georgia Tech wins the game. That's the most Miami loss I've ever seen. It really is. Like, the games that they lose last year was like they struggle against Southern Miss. They get pumped by Mid-Tennessee. When they play Miami of Ohio, Bethune-Cookman, and Temple, they get the job done, right? Georgia Tech. Oh. Like, even before that, it's not like they played good.
Yeah, they only won 2017.
Like, Tyler Van Dyke threw 3 picks. They probably deserved to lose anyway. Haynes King was worse somehow. But, like, you let Georgia Tech win this game, all-time sell. All-time fumble.
No pun intended.
Pun intended. All-time fumble. Everything intended.
I've been dying for this rant. I've been waiting all week for this rant.
With that being said, UNC by 50. Cristobal loses his job after this week. That's my take.
I'm taking North Carolina. I don't trust Miami.
I'm ready for this game. This next one.
Missouri. On the road at number 24, Kentucky.
Give me Missouri. Give me Missouri on the road.
I'm gonna go Kentucky in a bounce back game. I do like the Missouri pick.
Kentucky has no momentum.
I don't care. I'm going Kentucky because you went Missouri. How about that?
Kentucky has no momentum. You could say Missouri has none because they blew a lead in the fourth quarter to the LSU, but they didn't get absolutely killed, regardless of that they should have or not.
Speaking of LSU, they're at home versus Auburn this week.
I'll take LSU at home at night.
I'm gonna agree. It's definitely at night. The place is rocking. Yeah, LSU has one of the best offenses in the country. Their defense sucks.
Their defense can't stop anyone, which is like backwards for LSU.
Yeah.
Like usually LSU has one of the most like they have top talented defense in the country, and then they just
Jaden Daniels is balling.
They let up,
and then like their defense is just like
they've let up 30 plus points in 3 straight weeks.
And it's the complete opposite of what we thought. Like we thought their defense was gonna be good, and the offense was the question. Like Jaden Daniels was the question. I think.
No, after last year, I didn't think Jaden Daniels was like. I felt more confident about Jaden Daniels this year. Like I was okay about the offense, and like I felt good about the defense. That's why I picked them.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like you would have said the offense is going to struggle before you said the defense was going to struggle. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's been the opposite. Like the offense is the only thing that LSU can rely on right now.
I know.
Like all of their losses, or 2, you let up 45 to Florida State. You let up 55 to Ole Miss. You let up 39 to Missouri. You let up 31 to Arkansas. Just bad defense. I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn put up 30. Like Auburn might cover. Auburn's not bad. I mean, they haven't won an SEC game yet, but they're not completely horrible. I'm gonna go with LSU. I probably won't pick Auburn to cover. I don't know. I'm gonna go LSU though. That's not a question.
Number 18, UCLA on the road at number 15, Oregon State. This is a good game.
This is a good game. UCLA jumps back into the top 25 after beating Wazoo on the road. I got that one right. Or Wazoo at home.
Give me Oregon State.
I'll go with UCLA. UCLA has momentum after their win last week. Give me UCLA.
Number 10, USC on the road in South Bend versus number 21, Notre Dame. Notre Dame got pumped.
The fact that Notre Dame is favored in this game is kind of questionable. I know USC has been rocky lately with the lead that they blew against Colorado, even still winning, and almost losing to Arizona at home. Arizona's not bad, but still it's number 10 USC.
Apparently, Garrett Riley cares more about the Heisman than he does national championships.
Lincoln Riley?
Yeah, Lincoln Riley, my bad.
I mean, regardless of how Notre Dame has played, South Bend is tough to win in.
Give me Notre Dame. Give me Notre Dame, Sam Hartman, bounce back game in South Bend. Give me Notre Dame.
I think like, obviously, I'm going to sound dumb, but like, this is the tale of who's going to score more points. It's like, obviously, duh. But it's going to be a shootout. Notre Dame, we saw, like, we thought Notre Dame's defense was top 5 in the country through the first however many weeks, but they've been questionable. I mean, they were questionable against Louisville. Otherwise, they haven't really been questionable, but I think this is definitely the best defense USC has played all year. And when you allow 40 points back-to-back weeks, I'm going to go with USC. It's just my big question is can USC string like play as well as they have been offensively against this Notre Dame defense, who's been really, really, really good. It's surprising that the over-under is only 59.5, considering, like, yeah, USC's playing, you know. I'm going to go with USC on the road. I don't feel amazing about it because regardless of how, like, the two Notre Dame losses, they're still a good, really good team. I'm still going to go USC, though.
I'm going Notre Dame at home. Where was I? Okay. NC State on the road at number 17, Duke.
How many more games we got left?
2. This one and another one.
All right. Duke at home.
Am I missing one?
No, I'm just wondering.
Okay.
Duke at home.
I didn't think I was missing one, but obviously I looked over Wyoming and Air Force, the biggest game of the week. I mean,
I'm gonna go with Duke at Durham.
yeah, I'm gonna go with you there. Go Duke. Now the real biggest game of the week, and boy, is it a good one. Number 8, Oregon travels to face Heisman favorite Michael Penix Jr. and number 7, Washington.
Game of the week in Husky Stadium in Seattle. Washington's favored by 3.
This is gonna be a game, man. What time is this game?
3:30 or 2:30 for you.
Yes. Perfect.
Both teams have played lights out this season. Washington's only hiccup was against Arizona, but they still won that game. That's the last game that they played. They were on a bye last week. Oregon really hasn't had a hiccup all year. Besides, like, a little bit to Texas Tech. You hang 81 on Portland State. You kill Colorado. Kill Stanford.
Give me Washington at home.
Washington at home.
I could go either way, though.
I'm going to go with Oregon to get it done on the road. Both teams have been real, real impressive. It's hard to, say who's been more impressive. Both teams have a lot of firepower on offense. Both teams have really good quarterbacks. Electric offenses.
I think the winner of this wins the Pac-12.
You think so?
I think so. I think I predicted USC to win it at the beginning of the year for my predictions. But I'm backtracking.
I had Utah winning it.
I'm backtracking. I think the winner of this wins the Pac-12. Not the Big 12, the Pac-12.
I had Utah winning at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna go with Oregon. It's a coin toss for me, but I'm really going Oregon because you picked Washington. Oregon has been really good. Washington's also been really good. This is going to be the dogfight of the year so far.
Could be.
I really hope.
Has a potential for a lot of points.
I think it is. You slam the over on this game for sure. Probably. It's a very confident statement. I'm gonna go with Oregon though. You slam the over. Definitely, maybe.
Definitely, maybe, possibly. I think.
Possibly, for sure. 100%, maybe.
I think. I don't know. That's all I got, boys. That's college football. Week 7.
College football. Big chunk of the episode as usual. It's way more interesting than the NFL, some would argue. On to the NFL. Now, NFL has been interesting these past few weeks. Where's I going with that? I don't actually know. But let's start picking these games. Tonight, well, tomorrow as we're recording this, tonight as we upload it, Thursday night football in Arrowhead. Travis Kelce is questionable at the moment. He may be out or, playing at the time this uploads. He may be a game type decision. But Chiefs Broncos on Thursday. Chiefs coming off a win against the Vikings by one score in Minnesota. Broncos coming off a loss to the Jets. Hackett revenge game. I think the Chiefs haven't lost to the Broncos. I saw this today on Instagram. The Broncos have won a Super Bowl more recently than they beat the Chiefs.
That's kind of crazy.
So I'm going with Kansas. I'm going Kansas City.
I think Kelce plays. I'm going Kansas City.
I think he could afford to sit this game out though. It's the Broncos.
Probably good. But last time he set out, they couldn't catch a pass. So
Darius Toney had a career game the last time Kelce missed a game. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Arrowhead's electric at night. It's gonna be a fun game to watch. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England, sets the stage for Titans-Ravens at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. Titans coming off a really bad loss to the Colts without Anthony Richardson for most of the game.
Gardner Minshew looked good.
Gardner Minshew has looked better than Anthony Richardson, but we all know why that the Colts start him. Ravens coming off an even worse loss, some could argue, to the Steelers, where Matt Canada looked pissed after Pickett called an audible.
That won the game.
Like, bro, they didn't run a toss for -3 yards. I'm so mad.
So I heard that last night at the Penguins game. Is that right? The Pittsburgh Penguins? They were chanting "Fire Canada"
at the
hockey game.
Yeah, Canada is definitely one of the coordinators of all time. I'll say that.
But Byron Leftwich reached out and said he'll take the job.
He wanted to be on the staff. I don't think he wanted to be just take the coordinator job. He wouldn't be much better. But anybody is better than Canada at this point. I can't pick against the Titans, man.
Yeah,
we may get pumped in this game. But I'm gonna have to go with Tennessee. I have to.
Yeah, I think So Derrick Henry's obviously getting 25 carries this game because he only got 13 last week. It's a trend.
Yeah, it's the trend that's going on.
So and when Derrick Henry gets 20 plus carries, we win. So Titans.
Give the ball to Derrick Henry 20 times.
This is such a Titans win too, man.
We win the rough games, right? And then we lose the easy games. Give me Tennessee. Commanders coming off a blowout win, or a blowout loss rather, to the Chicago Bears, giving the Bears their first win of the season, playing the Falcons.
I'm gonna say
Falcons almost.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get there. But anyway,
Falcons almost lost to the Texans. Yeah. CJ Stroud has been really good. It's a good bounce back over that ugly loss in London against the Jags. And the Falcons are also undefeated at home. So I'm going to go with the Falcons.
I'm going to go Falcons because Desmond Ridder doesn't lose at home.
He doesn't. He's never lost at home in his entire career past high school. So I'm going to go with Atlanta. Trend continues. Divisional matchup in Chicago, Illinois.
And if Desmond Ridder was good enough to play college football, he probably didn't lose much at home in high school. Just saying.
Well, that's all the information that I've learned.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Most time when a quarterback goes and plays D1, they don't lose much.
Divisional matchup Chicago, Illinois, the Chicago Bears on a win streak, albeit one game, coming to face the Minnesota Vikings, who are also 1-4. If you told me through 5 weeks, if you told me through 5 weeks that the Vikings and the Bears would have the same record, regardless of whatever way it is, I would have called you crazy.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, we said there was a conversation to be had about Justin Fields. Now there might be another conversation to be had about Justin Fields. Justin Fields has looked the best he's ever looked in the past 2 games.
He has. And I will say, he's on the year, his collective stats have looked okay. 61% completion, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 picks, 191 yards rushing, only 1 touchdown on the ground. But he's gotten sacked 20 times through 5 weeks. Letting up 4 sacks a game is crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of been the trend.
Sometimes it's not the line's fault. Sometimes Fields runs into sacks when the protection is great.
Yeah, I agree. He does do that. Yeah.
The past 2 weeks have been, what's the word that I'm looking for? Promising for Justin Fields, right? Through all the darkness that he's had to start his career, all the losing, all the bad playing, the past 2 weeks have been bright spots. Only 1 win coming out of those 2 weeks, but it was only up from there. So I'm going to go with Chicago at home. Dang. Justin Fields rides the hot streak.
I like Chicago too. I don't know why I said dang, because it don't matter because we're not keeping up with the NFL pick'ems, but
yeah. Feels like NFL is taking a back seat in this podcast, which I don't necessarily like, because I like the NFL.
Yeah. It is kind of, but
college football is just way more interesting.
Yeah. I like the NFL, but I'm a college guy.
I'm more of an NFL guy when it comes to knowing, knowledge wise. Cincinnati at home playing the 3-1 Seahawks. Seahawks came off a bye, I think.
They did.
I think Geno Smith is Geno. Is Geno questionable? They have a lot of questionable people. Metcalf's questionable. Jamal Adams is questionable. I hated seeing Jamal Adams go down. With a head injury after coming back from over a year-long injury. Sucks seeing that. I think Geno's good to go. I saw he was questionable on fantasy.
Give me the Seahawks.
I'm going to go with the Bengals at home. Bengals coming off a win.
I do kind of like the Bengals, but I'm going to go Seahawks.
Jamar Chase went nuclear on Sunday against the Cardinals, going for 192 yards on 50 catches and 3 touchdowns on 19 targets. That's how you get your best receiver the ball. Target him 19 times. Usually good things happen.
I'm always open. I'm always open.
He is.
He wasn't wrong. 7-11. He said 7-11.
The original, always open is Julio, because his nickname is Waffle House, because he's always open. I'm always going to stick to Julio on that. But we're going to go with Cincinnati at home. The undefeated San Francisco 49ers travel to Cleveland to play the Browns. Do you know the Brown Stadium is now called the Cleveland Browns Stadium? Wasn't it First Bank Energy or something?
I don't know. That's kind of weird, though. Cleveland Browns
just
Stadium
last year
is kind of basic.
That's oh, wow. Yo, what's the Browns Stadium called again? Nobody's ever going to forget it. Oh, I think it's Cleveland Browns Stadium. Wow.
They put a lot of thought into that. About as much as they put into Deshaun Watson's contract.
I wonder who plays there. Give me the Niners, man. If
Yeah.
I don't think I think Deshaun's out again.
No way he's out. He come off a bye, and he was good to go before. No way he's out again.
Is he?
The team felt
I
like
don't
he
know.
could play.
I saw him.
The team felt like he
He's
could play,
questionable.
but he just said he didn't feel comfortable, which is kind of weird because never mind.
He didn't practice today, and he's questionable. So even if Deshaun played, I'm picking the Niners.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter. Fred Warner
Browns
is an animal.
The Browns are good. Yeah, he's an absolute freak. We've all known this, though. Give me the Niners. The Niners are the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Give me
and it's Brocktober.
It is Brocktober.
Panthers. Brock Purdy's never lost an NFL game where he didn't tear his elbow. So.
Yeah, it's not looking like that's gonna happen Sunday. Panthers go to Miami, where bad things usually happen, to play the Dolphins. The Dolphins are favored by 13.5 against the 0-5 Carolina. 0-5. Panthers are the last winless team in the NFL. I didn't expect it to be Chicago or Carolina. I expected it to be Chicago, but I didn't expect it to be Carolina.
Yeah.
They're going to fall to 0-6. Give me Miami.
Yeah, the Dolphins don't score 70 this week, but they win convincingly.
Devon Achan's got put on IR today. Sad to see because he's been electric to start his career. And I think Mostert, he was injured earlier this year. I think he's playing. Achan's on IR. Jeff Wilson's on IR. Teron Armstead's on IR.
They're going to put Cheetah in the backfield?
Jalen Ramsey's on IR.
He's been on IR.
I forgot they had Jalen Ramsey, to be honest. When they get him back, bro.
Yeah.
The team's scary now. When that team's fully healthy, they're going to be absolutely unstoppable. Jaguars.
How fun would a Dolphins Niners Super Bowl be?
It would be fun on paper, but I guarantee you the Dolphins or the Niners make it less fun.
Yeah, probably.
Because of how good that defense is. Colts, Jaguars in Jacksonville. Whoa, hit my monitor. Colts, Jaguars in Jacksonville. Jacksonville's favored by 4. Jags on a win streak. 2 straight in London. But it is like not surprising when the Bills get to London on Friday. Like,
and then they have to do autograph sessions and meet and greets and all the other media. And Jacksonville's already done this a week prior.
Jacksonville's been there for 2 weeks, and like
they've already done all the media BS. And
they're coming off a win. The Bills did not look ready to play at all last week.
Jet lag is real.
Completely understandable. Yeah, completely understandable. There's no way you can get used to being in London after just a day and a half. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what made them get there so late. Both teams are coming off a win. I'm going to go with the Colts on the road.
I'm going Jaguars.
I sat ETN last week against the Bills because it was the Bills, and he had the best game of his career.
Did you see where he said, I play myself in fantasy this week?
He lost himself.
It's like, and somebody said, bro, how do you not have yourself in fantasy?
How do you not take yourself in fantasy, bro? Yeah, I sat ETN for Brian Robinson because I was told to start him because they played the Bears. Not a great GM decision by me. But I'm still going to go with the Colts. They have Jonathan Taylor back coming off a win against Tennessee where Jonathan Taylor didn't really do anything. Jonathan Taylor did get the bag, though, so the Colts have a winning record. And Anthony Rich just got put on IR. We're going to go with Indianapolis because Minshew Mania is upon us.
I'm going Jags.
Saints travel to NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas to take on the young, the talented Houston Texans. Texans haven't looked bad this year. They blew it against the Falcons. They killed the Steelers, killed the Jaguars by 20. They're playing the struggling Saints. They killed New England last week.
I'm gonna take the Texans.
Texans at home? I might do the same. No, I'm gonna go with New Orleans.
I'm just happy for our guy Elijah. He finally got a team that's actually doing a little something.
I know, bro. He has picked the worst teams to like though. Like, and of all the teams that he likes, the Texans are the ones that we're most confident in. Like, you got the Blazers, who are like, they're a fun team now, but who knows how well they're going to do. The Texans are showing signs of promise with all the young players. D'Amico Ryan's like a great hire. The Rockies are the Rockies.
The Rockies are forever bad.
Who else? Mississippi State's not looking too good. Like, pick new teams, brother. Like, you. That's all I gotta say. Just pick better teams, brother. I know I picked we all both just like the Tennessee teams, but dude, you really, I don't know what went through your head when you were picking your favorite teams, bro.
He wanted a lot of pain and suffering.
I get the Mississippi State because it's not like terribly far from where we're from.
I think his dad went there. I could be wrong on that, but I could be completely wrong on that.
But like, you like the Rocky, like it has to be like a favorite player thing. I don't know. I'll ask
Elijah, we need this on the next Ball of Oasis. We need to know why your favorite teams are your favorite.
We need in a couple of weeks when we go on Ball of Oasis to recap to overview the season. I need to know why you like the teams that you like, bro. It's perplexing to me. Anyway, I'll go with the Saints. Patriots going to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. I think Jimmy G to play Monday.
He did play Monday.
Yeah.
I thought you said he didn't play Monday.
No, he did. I barely watched the game, but he did play. Devontae Adams is questionable as of today. Didn't practice today.
He played Monday though, so
yeah. I think his shoulder. He didn't practice. Didn't practice today. Jacoby Myers is also questionable.
I think he'll play. I think
with the way the Pats have played, this is the worst the Patriots have looked in 20 years. It really is. We're watching the downfall of New England, man, and some like it, some hate it. I mean, it's sad to see with how good they've been the past 2 decades. I'm gonna go with Las Vegas at home. I just don't trust the Patriots at all right now.
I'm gonna go Raiders.
You could argue.
I'm gonna go Raiders unless Tom Brady comes out in a Patriots uniform Sunday.
You could argue New England has been the worst team in the NFL.
With pads on, not just his jersey, with pads on.
You could argue New England has been the worst team in the NFL this year. You really could. You could make an argument for it. Yeah. The past 2 weeks, they've got absolutely shellacked. 38-3 to the Cowboys, 34-0 to the Saints. You scored 13 points the last 3 weeks combined. You haven't scored over 20 all season.
And they're committed to Mac Jones.
Somehow. They do have a crazy schedule. They've had a crazy schedule so far. But it's Belichick in New England, man. Like, you expect good to come out at some point, but it just hasn't happened. I'm going with Vegas. Cardinals, Rams. Now the Rams coming off a loss to the Eagles last week. Cardinals coming off loss to the Bengals. Both teams looking for a win. Both teams not very good. I'm gonna go with Arizona.
I'm gonna go with the Rams.
I'm just picking Arizona. Haven't won a road game yet, but the Rams haven't won home game yet. I can see this game being a tie. Like, just both of these teams aren't very good. I can see this being a tie. Eagles, Jets in MetLife Stadium. Now, fun fact, the Jets have never beat the Eagles ever, and the Eagles are 5-0. So I'm going with the Eagles.
Eagles.
Did you see what Robert Saleh said about stopping the tush push?
The brotherly shove. Let's call it the brotherly shove.
I think tush push is funnier. Makes people uncomfortable. What did he say? He said, if the quarterback carries the ball, we've got to give him 11 kisses.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Now, what that means, I'm not really sure. Like, actually smooching Jalen Hurts is kind of crazy. I'd rather just tackle him, but we're gonna go with Philly.
Did you see where Jason Kelsey said on New Heights that they got Lane Johnson for lining up in the neutral zone when it was his hand?
When it was Jason Kelsey's hand?
Yeah, they called flagged Lane Johnson for lining up in the neutral zone, but it was Jason Kelsey's hand. They got him mixed up.
Yeah, I've never seen an episode of that podcast before.
Really?
I've never fully watched an episode before. I've seen
I think
TikTok,
I have
obviously.
One or two, maybe. I watch a lot of the TikToks, but I've seen a couple of their full episodes.
Yeah, but I've never actually just listened to the whole one. I'll have to do that. But
I think this is on TikTok, though. I think I saw this on the TikTok, though.
Yeah, their TikToks are really funny, mainly because of Travis. Travis is hilarious. Jason's also funny. That family's just hilarious. But I'm gonna go with Jason Kelsey and the Eagles.
Yeah, me as well.
Detroit travels to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida.
I don't know. Hey, back up. I don't know. Last time Mama Kelsey was in the building, Zach Wilson went kind of crazy.
Zach Wilson career game with Mama Kelsey in the building. Jets win. No, we're going Eagles. Lions travel to Raymond James Stadium in South Florida to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lions.
This is a sneaky little game, I think. Is Mike Evans playing?
I know. I don't know. Was he out last week?
Yeah, I think he was out last week.
I think so. Evans is questionable as of today. He didn't practice today. He could play. But the Lions are really good. Lions, you could argue the Lions are a top 5 team in the NFL right now through 5 weeks. Just double-digit win after double-digit win after double-digit win.
Give me the Bucks.
Bucks at home. I'm going to go with Detroit. My pick for them to win the division is looking scrumptious right now. I think you did the same thing. But we're going to go with the Lions on the road. Giants. Stay in state. Go to Orchard Park to play the Buffalo Bills. Now, I don't know why the Giants keep getting these primetime games. I know they were scheduled before the season, but the Giants are pitiful.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to put it. The Giants have not been good all year. Now, Daniel Jones, I'm not really sure. If I
was Daniel Jones, I wouldn't play the rest of the year.
I think Daniel Jones said this neck injury won't really be hurtful long term. But dude, the Giants have been just the complete opposite of last year.
Why is Daniel Jones not on the injury? Why is Daniel Jones not on the injury report?
It says he's questionable. Today he was questionable.
On the ESPN app, he's not on the injury report.
Well, I'm seeing it here. Coach Brian Daboll said Wednesday that Jones won't participate in practice. He didn't practice today, but he's questionable. Barkley practiced today. Limited participant, but he practiced.
It doesn't matter. Bills.
Yeah, Bills might win by a lot. Back in America, Bills are favored by 14. With the way that this year has gone, Bills probably win by 40 comfortably. Yeah.
Whoever
Cowboys
plays
go.
quarterback for the Giants is getting sacked at least 7 times.
That might be generous. Cowboys travel to Inglewood, California to play the LA Chargers in SoFi Stadium. Kellen Moore revenge game against the Cowboys. It's a tough one. Cowboys coming off an embarrassing loss against the almighty 49ers.
Is Eckler playing?
Who?
Eckler. Question was to be yesterday. Did he practice today?
Let me see. Eckler said that he's 99% certain that he'll play Monday against the Cowboys as of yesterday.
The Cowboys put their linebacker on IR, right? Or they're going to, I think.
Van Der Esch, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's on IR. No.
Yeah, obviously he has a history of neck injuries, so hopefully he's all right.
It says he's questionable as of the 9th, a couple of days ago. But they're expecting to put him on IR.
Yeah, I don't expect him to play.
Already without Trayvon Diggs for the year. Cowboys are falling off the rails a little bit. I'm
going to go Cowboys, though.
I'm going to go with LA. LA's coming off a bye. 2-game win streak. Early bye. But I'm going to go with the Chargers at home. I mean, home, quote unquote. All right. I like the flow of that episode way better than we usually do. It was still a long episode, but like we still had a good flow with the episode. We appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate you guys listening. Our episodes will now be uploaded at Thursday mornings at 8:15 Eastern, or just 8 Eastern. I don't know why I said 15. I was looking at the Monday night game. It was 8:15 p.m. Our podcast episodes will be uploaded at 8 a.m. Eastern on Thursday mornings every week. We're gonna take a break from the lives, just because my internet has been bad. I don't want to I want the product to be really, really good for you guys. It'll be uploaded to Spotify and YouTube at 8 a.m. on Thursday mornings, and Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts. It'll be our new schedule. We appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate you guys listening. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Turn on post notifications. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We are wherever you guys get your podcast. And we will see you guys next week.